You know what I mean? Because we don't have exact dimensions, and I didn't have the layout where there's going to be vents and stuff like that. So we might have to move stuff over here and there. But the biggest thing is that you line them up where you can line them up. So you're going to be lining up this row right here. Make sure it's all lined up all the way across. So there's 4, and line it up all the way across.
Oh, okay.
And then.
And symmetrically spaced them, or you have a space for them?
Well, just essentially, symmetrically spaced them.
Okay.
Just for this one, and then this, and then.
My question: are we going to have too much light here to have enough here and here? I mean, should we have one here or not?
We do have one here.
I know, but should we?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
As long as it's pinpointed enough. My fear is having so much light that it's not dramatic enough.
Sure.
Because I told, they said to me, the Dodgers said, well, especially Steve, he said, well, why are we doing this? I understand I did a big sale. And I said, it's, a sexy party room.
Yeah.
And the only thing this was all an email.
Yeah.
My paragraph was this big,
Yeah.
And then he said, and I sent him a link to online where it showed some good stuff.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, sexy party room, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Go forward.
Yeah.
So I want to be sure that it's still a sexy party room. And that it's not a bright party room.
Yep, I got
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, all that being said, then, I mean, there's not...
Well, all these lights are controlled, right? So you can turn these off with one switch, at the flick of a switch. So you can dim them down as well.
Right, but if I was standing here, okay, this is going to be dramatic. This is going to be boom, 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 dramatic. This right here, dramatic.
So my thought is...
So I don't know how much.
Absolutely.
Right, my thought on this one is it's not a general downlight. I want you to be able to point it at the wall.
Perfect.
At the
That
art
makes
light.
sense. That makes sense.
That's the reason why we put it on the side of the room
Got
right
it.
there.
Okay.
Because it's directional on the interior.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because of this, we really don't, I see this is rather dark.
Yeah, most of everything is directional.
Okay.
We have a spot
You
for it.
have a
The
reasonable
only-
way to move it.
The
Yeah.
only place that it's even
Where
made
the other
to-
lights, they weren't movable.
we had 2 general downlights right here, and that was it. The
And
rest
did
are
it-
all meant for a purpose.
Okay.
And that one we could put up to 2 lenses on it to really dim them down if we want to.
Okay. Good.
Or we could even put them on those 2 are on their own switch that go off,
Okay. Good.
and you only turn them on
We
when
might-
you need to do something.
That's great. And
Yeah.
pick, vacuum.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, that makes some sense.
Those 2 are, they're over here on this side.
They're
They're on
either
either
side
side
of
of
the
the
chandelier.
chandelier.
On either side of the chandelier.
Oh, okay.
We could
Color on
even,
the rug too.
Yes.
we can even direct them where they're pointing at the chandelier only.
Great.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and that might be interesting too.
It's-
Or at the beams, because the beams, here's the beams.
They're amazing.
And, this will be the pattern on beams when they're done. And then maybe they'll need a spot or 2.
Oh, and we could get most of the beam, but you're not going to be able to fully
Of course not.
get to it.
And I wouldn't want to.
Yep.
But if a hint,
Sure.
Sure. I think we understand.
Yeah, I'm on the same path as you. I
It
think
really
because
helped
there's so
me.
much art.
Yes, it really helped me that I knew you did Houston. I mean Hillstone, and the Amon Carter, because then the kind. Not even as much as the Amon Carter, but
Mood
it's
lighting.
restaurant lighting.
Yeah, it's
That's
mood lighting.
really what I want. Is
Yes.
a restaurant.
I get it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And what we've made, while there's multiple, is because right now what we're doing is we're layering.
Got it.
And it's still interior, but it's all recessed, but we've now layered it and gave you options for all your art light And
Which is perfect, because then they'll probably add more art because they like to collect.
right, and that was one of the things I noticed, that art was such a big deal, so that's
Exactly.
why we layered the corners of the room, and the only two really is 2 interiors. And with that, we make sure that we switch it differently. As a matter of fact, I would probably switch each zone a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Because these two, sorry, the two right here, Penny, those are the ones that are on either side of the coffee table.
That's
so
right.
they'll be like over this beam.
Right.
and
pointed down.
pinpointed. Mhm.
Right, and we haven't even gotten the coffee table yet. We've got to work
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
But
Yeah.
so like that would be its own zone too, right?
And how about these lights? What do you want me to do
Yes.
with these? Sorry.
Well,
You want 'em in
those
or-
were sconces. They're supposed to still be sconces. My problem is, I want them to be unbelievable, interesting sconces. And what I showed them was just to show. I don't think they're good enough. Okay, what I showed them was I had not gotten here in my head yet. I wish that those were found from an Egyptian tomb, okay?
Yeah.
And then they become pieces of art that happen to be light fixtures.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime,
Have you looked at Metropolitan?
yeah, I usually
Visual
do. but-
comfort?
Yeah, all that, yeah. I'm very,
Florida?
yeah, all of it. No, I'm talking really interesting. We have been known to make our own sculptures that would take like a Corvette and then do some craziness around it. I think I'm going to explore finding some sculptures and then making them into sculptures.
Right. Yep.
But they're not going to be a light source.
Yeah.
They're going to be a glow on the wall.
Sure.
Okay.
So we'll figure out, once you install them, we will need zones for them as far as switching. But, Freddie, for this,
The glow boxes that we got for Leslie.
That I was made. I wonder if there's anything down that path. I
so
mean, it's very different. It's not.
the two
because
right here,
With these being all different, and so
we want them to be basically,
you almost
you
go,
know, you could
either
center them
those
within that. They're gonna be junction boxes.
Yeah.
that they don't
Okay, everything else is recessed, but these two are junction
sort
boxes.
of match.
Also,
either way.
instead of white, I put black, which I still have time today to change that. I was gonna discuss it with you because I thought black would be an easier thing for you to gold leaf with everything else that you're doing. Would you like black or the tangerine interior?
Tangerine.
Okay, tangerine interior, no problem. And then the exterior, do you want that to be black or white?
Will it even matter because you're gonna probably leave them?
She's running my base. Probably white, because we'll probably paint them gold first and then leave them.
Okay, very
So,
good.
yeah,
So same for white and then tangerine on the inside.
perfect.
Okay, got it. So for these two, we talked about that. Just make sure for this back row as well, that lines up.
Oh yeah.
Then these
We're gonna
line
shoot
up.
lasers up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we can't mess this
Now,
up.
this one, these two don't necessarily have to line up. These are the two that it's not gonna matter that they line up. See how they're not lined up in the picture? I want them to line up the best you can with this row, if
On the
possible.
vertical line.
Yeah, that line, but these two, see how I brought them in a little because ultimately we want them as close to being like where it's two little spots over the table. So we're gonna pull them in close to that beam.
Closer to the beam.
Right, and they're gonna be above where her coffee table is, on center of the coffee table here.
And the coffee table most likely is gonna be in the center of this beam, right?
Yeah, or essentially. So that's what, and we have a little bit of direction to move it around in the interior of the can because they're adjustable on the
They're
inside.
adjustable. That's all that matters.
Yep. So then, so that covers that back row. These two right here, we're literally spotting them over.
Yeah, where I got those circles, kind of.
Yeah. So that's where this one's not here, but yeah, that's good. See, that's a good spot for where this one is.
Yeah.
And then we can even, that's a good spot for where that one is. That's fine. But except for, let's just go ahead and center them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll put them on the same line.
Yeah, and then do
Yeah, that
the
was
same
just-
thing for these two that are gonna be on the, so that would be,
So the center of these will be the center of these,
yeah.
but those two are gonna be further out. Those two in the front are gonna be further out.
Yeah, these two will be, these two will be essentially, yeah. We're gonna,
And once we lay it out, we'll let you come look at it, and then we can move it just in case.
yeah.